Okay guys, so I already have tape and my eyebrows done and my eyes set. We're going to be going into the Sultry palette by Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and you guys, how cute is this packaging? So I'm going to be going in with the first shade Birch, and I'm going to be using that as a transition color, and I'm just going to be building that up as much as I can. This is a beautiful kind of saddle color, saddle brown color. So I'm going to be using this as a nice transition color. As you guys can see, it's very pigmented. And I am blending that in with my Morphe M441. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite blending brushes. So that's all I'm doing with this color right now. Now I'm going to be going in with the shade Twig in the palette. This is a much more cool tone brown color in the palette. And I'm going to be going in with my Morphe M514 brush. And I'm going to be taking this color a little bit lower than I took that first color Birch in the palette. And just trying to build up that transition color in my crease. With that same brush, I'm going to be taking this shade Slate in the palette, and as you guys can see, this is a slate gray color, and I'm going to be working this into my crease area as well. It is turning into more of a cool tone look, and usually I don't go towards cool tone looks. And I'm also going to be going into that shade Birch to kind of blend that color out as much as possible and make sure everything's blending nicely. And we're going to work on the outer crease with the shade Dystopian in the palette, and I'm taking that on a tapered blending brush. And this is the mini tapered blending brush that came in our BoxyCharm this month, and I love this for crease work. Now I'm going to be going in with my flat shader brush and a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape to cut the crease. I do want to do a winged out cut crease on this look. I just wanted it to be a little bit more dramatic. Of course, any cut crease is dramatic, but for me, I usually don't do the winged out cut creases, but I really love how they look. So I'm attempting to do a winged out cut crease, and it turned out really good. Actually, I like the way that it looked, especially with liner. So that's what I'm doing here. As you guys can tell, I'm dragging out the concealer a little bit further than I normally would with a cut crease, and I'm just winging it out as much as possible, and I'm creating a nice defined line there to where the eyeshadow kind of flares out. So to me, this is more of a winged out cut crease. I'm not sure what they're called, but I really like the way they look, especially when you pair it with a nice liner or some glitter or even no liner. It looks pretty good. So I'm attempting to make both eyes look exactly the same, well, as much as I can. And they both ended up turning out really well, so I was really pleased with it. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and spritz my brush with a little bit of the Rose Spray from Garnier. And now I'm going to go into that shade Cinder and just place that on the lid wherever I place that concealer at. And as you guys can tell, this is a really pretty bronze gold shade. I really love it, especially with this look. It turned out perfect. I do go ahead and add a little bit of glitter later just to give it a little bit more of a dramatic look. But even like this is such a beautiful color, and I love the way that it turned out. Right here I am taking the shade Teak, and I'm going to place that right on top of that last shade that we just used. But honestly, I didn't need to do this. I could have used either or color. I just wanted to see if it made a difference. This is a little bit of a darker tone bronze gold color, and I really did like it. So I'm going to go in with this NYX glitter glue, and I'm going to take that on a flat shader brush by Luxie. I'm going to be taking a little bit on the back of my hand and working that onto my lid area. And I'm just going to take it towards like the middle of the lid area, and I'm going to be going in with this Anastasia of Beverly Hills glitter, and this is in the shade Star Power. So I did purchase this when I picked up the palette. This is one of the glitters that I picked up because I felt that this was something that I would use more than the other glitters that she had out, and it's very pretty. It's a nice kind of champagne gold glitter, and I love the way that it topped off on top of this look. As you guys can tell, it's not too chunky of a glitter. It's nice. here I'm going to be going into the shade Twig and a little bit of that shade Dystopian as well in the palette, because I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm deepening up that cut crease area. I just want to make sure that none of the colors faded away. Now I'm going to be going into this Pretty Vulgar eyeliner pot, and I really like this. I love this for creating a nice defined line, but I do go ahead and top it off with my Ciate eyeliner as well, just to make it nice and black. So that's what I'm doing here. So now here, as you guys can tell, I'm taking a little bit of my L'Oreal Miss Manga mascara. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras, or just mascaras in general. I love this mascara. It coats the lashes really nicely. I know that my eyeliner looks a little bit messed up at the moment, but I do go back in and fix it. I was just so tired of trying to fix my eyeliner when I was working on it today. It just was not my kind of eyeliner day, so I will go back and fix that a little bit later. I was just already frustrated and done with it. So I'm just coating my mascara right now. So as always, I am going to be going in with my lashes, and you guys already know I've been using these for a while now. I do got to pick up some more. I actually have a few coming in right now that I'm waiting for. So for now, I'm just going to be using these because I don't have any other ones, and I haven't picked up any other ones at the moment. So I'm just going to be using the ones that I always use from Amazon. I do want to order some more of these specific ones as well because I really love the way that they worked. I've used them over and over again for a while, and honestly, if I clean them up, they would look even better. I just haven't done that in a while. But I am going in with my lashes, and I'm just going to clean them up just a little bit. As you guys can tell, I really need to be cleaning these lashes or just pick up some other ones. So right here, I'm going to be taking the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops with the primer, and I'm going to be using that on my face today and mixing them together. As you guys can tell, I lost a little bit of footage here. My camera ended up turning off, and I didn't notice it until I was already had some of my foundation on. And as you guys can tell, I am taking the Makeup Forever Foundation Stick. This is one of my favorite foundations at the moment. It is very full coverage, and it covers up basically everything. I do have a lot of breakouts at the moment, and it covered them up very well. And as you guys can tell, it matches my skin perfectly. I really love this color and this foundation. Now I'm going to be going in with the Born This Way concealer, and this concealer, as you guys can tell, I almost hit my eye right there. Like, I literally took that almost up into my eyeball, and I was so mad, but I wanted to blend that out so fast. So as you guys can tell, I'm just blending that out. And now I'm going to be going into this Chanel bronzer. I did want to go in with a little bit of cream bronzer today, and as you guys can tell, that's just a nice base for my bronzer, but this is something that is an extra step for me. I really love the way my face looks when I do this, when I do go ahead and use this Chanel bronzer. It is one of my favorites. I am running really low on this, so I don't use it too much. I just use it sparingly. But I really love how flawless my face looks when I do go ahead and use this. And I love adding cream products underneath powder products. It just makes everything last longer, and it kind of brings everything together. Now I'm going to be going in with a little bit more of those dewdrops, and I'm just going to be taking that and adding a little bit to the high points of my cheeks, just to add on top of or underneath of my highlighter. As you guys can tell, I was going to do a talk through part of this video, but like I said, I lost a lot of the footage, and the something was up with my mic. I'm not sure what was going on, but it was really staticky, so I just went ahead and muted it, and I figured why not just do a voiceover for you guys. So I am adding that to the high points of my cheeks and a little bit where I would highlight, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with my Morphe sponge. And that's all I'm doing at the moment. I did want to add cream products underneath of the powder products. As you guys can see, I am now going to go in with my setting powder, and this one's from Maybelline. I always use this powder. This is something I'm stuck on at the moment. So I'm just going ahead and cutting my cheeks a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer afterwards. So I did go ahead and pull out this Cheekathon palette out of my collection recently because I had put it away a while ago because I was using it like crazy nonstop. So now I'm going to go in with this Hoola bronzer that is in the palette. And honestly, this is one of my favorite palettes to use for the face. And especially this bronzer, it comes with everything you would need for blush and bronzer. As you guys can tell, this bronzer is very, very pigmented. It looks really light in the pan, but it's very pigmented. And it's one of my favorites as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that on top of the cream products that I had put down. And just to kind of bring everything in and bring it all together, I'm just blending that in with the brush that came with the palette. It's actually a really nice brush. So I do like it, and I just keep it in the palette so I never lose it. But as you guys can tell, I'm just going ahead and blending that out as much as possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and just brush away whatever powder I did have. I try and brush it away as fast as possible because I do have really, really dry skin. So as you guys can tell, I just want to get that off of my skin and make sure that nothing stays behind because my skin is very dry. And I'm going to go in with that same palette and use a little bit of the Dallas blush that's in that palette and the Rocketeur blush. And as you guys can tell, I went in with a little bit more highlight. I went ahead and added a little bit of the Rodeo Drive by Ofra highlight. And this is also one of my favorites. This is like right up there with my Amrezy highlighter by Anastasia. And I'm just going ahead and laying that on top of whatever highlighter that I had put on underneath. I'm just going to be using the same colors that I used on the top of the lid. On the bottom, I believe I used a little bit of Twig and Dystopian on the lower lash line. And then I went in with my mascara just to use that on my lower lash line as well. Now I'm going to be setting down all of those powders that we used with this Rose Mist by Garnier. This is one of my favorite drugstore face mist. It is on point. It leaves everything nice and dewy and nothing looks powdery. As you guys can tell, I'm going in with a little bit of black eyeliner. If this grosses you out, please skip through this. But I am going ahead and making sure that I blend those lashes in and add a little bit to my lower lash line. Now I'm going to be going in with this MAC lip liner in the shade Be Spoken For, and this is kind of reminiscent to Night Moth. It's kind of like that color. It's just a little bit more purple toned of a deep red color. But I really do love this shade, and I wanted to go in with a little bit more of a vampy lip with this eye look because I felt like this would kind of tie it all together. So I went ahead and lined my lips out, and now I'm going ahead and going in with the shade Misconduct by Smashbox, and that is the final look.